If you're looking to buy a new Canon lens, you've come to the right place. In this article, we'll list 12 of the best Canon lenses available on the market right now. We'll also provide a buyer's guide to help you choose the right lens for your needs. So whether you're a professional photographer or just starting out, read on for the best Canon lenses money can buy. Our top pick has a super fast f1.4 maximum aperture, special low dispersion glass, and is weather sealed for everyday pro use. Are you looking for the best keyword? In this video, we will look at some of the best keyword on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description, so make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Number 1. Canon f85mm f1.4L is USM. You'll get great results from the Canon f85mm in a whole range of situations. Image quality is reliable across the aperture range. It is, without a doubt, one of the best Canon portrait lenses. Canon portrait lenses are fairly rare. The L series of Canon lenses are not for the financially faint of heart. They are built for daily professional use. They feature dust and moisture resistance and have an impressive build quality. The 1.4L was the first 85mm focal length Canon portrait lens to use image stabilization. This is rated at 4 stops and will help in many natural light shoots. It can't, of course, stop your subject from moving. The 9-bladed iris makes attractive sun stars from bright points of light. It also means the lens produces smooth bokeh when stopped down. Canon's ultrasonic motor, USM, means whisper quiet focusing. It's renowned for its speed and accuracy. From a professional lens, you would expect glass elements. The Canon uses a molded glass aspherical lens with 14 elements in 10 groups. The front element has a fluorine coating to repel moisture and oil, which reduces smudging. Number 2. Canon f85mm f1.8 USM. This is a non-L series lens. It won't look as impressive on your camera and doesn't offer the same level of environmental sealing. But the f85mm f1.8 USM does offer 9 elements in 7 groups and a USM. Bokeh will be affected slightly by the 8 diaphragm blades. However, at the full range of apertures, it's pretty good. Wide open, it's a thing of beauty. The plastic lens body is not as robust, but it is light. At about 1/3 the cost of the L series lens, this is still quite a lot of money, but it will repay the investment with great image quality and accurate rendition. It is notable for its lack of spherical aberration and pin-sharp focus. It may not be the best Canon portrait lens, but it's great value for money. Number 3. Samyang Rokinon f85mm f1.4. At a similar price to the previous Canon portrait lens, the Rokinon f85mm boasts a 9-blade iris and weather sealing. It even looks like an L series lens with a red ring around the body. Although it's made of plastic, the Rokinon has a quality feel to it. Depending on where you live, this lens is branded as Samyang or Rokinon, not a name that immediately springs to many minds. But Rokinon is building a fanbase with their well-made lenses. That's all very well, but how does it perform? Well, focusing is quick and accurate. The manual focusing ring only works when the camera is awake. Sharpness from f2.8 is excellent, but less so up till that point. Bokeh is really impressive at all apertures, as is contrast. If anything lets the Rokinon down, it's some pin cushioning and decreased sharpness away from the center. Overall, this is a good lens with reliable image quality if portrait photography isn't your main gig, or if your budget is tight. Number 4. Canon f100mm f2.8L is USM. As you can see, there's a fairly limited range of 85mm prime Canon portrait lenses. To expand the options a little, we'll look at a couple of longer focal length lenses before we move on to zoom lenses. As the name tells us, this Canon f100mm is also a macro lens. Some argue that a 100mm focal length is a little short for macro, but this lens at least opens up some possibilities for you. It's also a decent length for portraits. You'd need a pretty big studio to use it. But if you're shooting outdoors, that's not such a problem. 9 blades on the iris mean that down to f5.6, the aperture is round. Even after that, it's pleasingly smooth. The lens contains 15 elements in 12 groups. Image stabilization and a USM make this a well-spec'd lens. The bokeh produced by those 9 blades is excellent across the aperture range. Sharpness is also excellent, with some falling off at the edges when it's wide open. The image stabilization will help to reduce camera shake and motion blur. The build quality is excellent, as you'd expect from an L-series lens. It is a little off-putting that the body is plastic. I feel the same about my L-series 16 to 24mm lens. It somehow seems wrong, but after shooting a wedding for 12 hours, I'm actually quite in favor of plastic. Number 5. Sigma 105mm f2.8 XD/GOS HSM macro. The image stabilization is switchable for static and panning modes, and is rated for 4 stops. That's very useful in an f2.8 lens. This is a solid choice if you can cope with the 105mm focal length, especially if macro photography is appealing to you. This is about as long a focal length as you want for portrait work. The Sigma 105mm XD/GOS boasts image stabilization, a 9-blade iris, and 16 elements in 11 groups. It is not weather sealed, but that's not surprising at this price point. The build is good, and the image quality is excellent. At wider apertures, edge definition fades away quite a bit. High f-stops are not handled as well as the Canon L series, but this is a much cheaper lens. Now, what if you can't devote the cash to a lens just for portrait work? Here are some suggestions for zoom lenses that will also work.